Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I want to thank you for coming back and learning some more about this really important topic. And I'm going to try and make it as user-friendly as I can. As you may have noticed, in this part of the class, where I'm in the little video in the corner and then the graphics are in the center, may not be as clear as the first video, but that one was recorded on an iPad. This is on a laptop and isn't quite the same video camera, but I can't do the share screen on the iPad. So the star of the show are these graphics. Those come through crystal clear, so let's pay some good attention to that as we get into the part of our class about personal care dangers and what we got to look out for. So a lot of our personal care items are linked to cancer. More than a third of personal care items contain ingredients linked to cancer. But you know what? It's more than just the cancer that we got to watch out for, as horrible as that is. There are other things that can really disrupt our lives, things that can disrupt our endocrine system. And there's a lot to that. So let's talk about some of that and what we got to look out for. One of the big ones is parabens. Parabens are found in many personal care items. A lot of products are now starting to drop the parabens. They say, you just have to be your best consumer there. But phthalates is another one. Phthalats. Phthalates and parabens. Those are two big words that people want to look out for. But why, right? What is a paraben? What is a phthalate? Well, parabens are preservatives. They're found in our makeups, our moisturizers, our shampoos and conditioners and things like that. A lot of those things are made with water. Water can introduce things that can break down. Water can make things break down easily and things can go bad or get mold. So they put these preservatives in them in the form of parabens. You can see them on the label listed as a paraben or methylparaben or something with the last part of it with ABEN in the last part of the name. That's how you're going to spot your parabens. What are the problems with parabens, though? Parabens mimic estrogen. They are exoestrogenic. That's the scientific name for it. And the problem with those things is it has been known to cause breast cancer and reproductive problems. Just the exposure now and then may not be so bad, but we are constantly exposed to them and they begin to store in our tissue, and that's how they are presenting themselves. The parabens have been banned in Japan and Sweden, but they are not banned in the United States. So, phthalates. What is a phthalate? Phthalate is a softener. It will soften. A lot of industry likes to use them in toys, like softening baby and toddler toys. But for babies, it's really dangerous because they're chewing on that soft, squeaky toy, maybe to help those gums feel better. But when they're chewing on them, they're getting that stuff in them. And scientists have found phthalates in baby urine. This was done in a study in 2008. They were finding it showing up in baby urine. So you'd be surprised, by the way, at some of the things that show up in babies, even in the umbilical cords of mom. Some of the stuff that's already in mama, and it's like, we got a lot of work to do, folks. We got to stop having so much of this surround our lives because it's starting to affect even the unborn and our new little babies. But it's also found in animal toys. So we love our fur babies too, and it's affecting them too. So it's found in the urine. It causes problems. It also can just be something that irritates their skin, and that's not so nice either. But some of the more severe problems are hormone disruption and insulin resistance. Those are what happen. Those are some of the things that can happen when these things are stored in your tissue. So our body is not so good at breaking it down. Now, this is something that we experienced personally as a family. I used to be the candle and Scentsy queen, had that stuff all over. I just did not know any better. In the lotions, in the Scentsy, in the candles. I like the house smelling good. I love the way it made me supposedly feel. I did not know what I was exposing myself or my children to. I do now. I didn't know any better, but now basically that stuff is out of my house. and I will preach it to anyone who will listen too, like I am to you. All right, some of the other things that you're going to find in these personal care products, these beauty products and skincare products, things you want to watch out for. In your typical body wash, you're going to find your SLSs again. You're going to find something called sodium lauryl sulfate, which is also known as SLES. You're going to find fragrance, obviously, and that 1,4-dioxane, which we talked about earlier with the laundry products. So what's the problem with fragrance anyway? Why can't we have fragrance? As I said to you earlier, fragrance is not a natural byproduct. It is not from nature. It is laboratory created. Now, according to the FDA, fragrance is considered hazardous waste and is flammable. It causes problems with our central nervous system. It can store in all of our organs, and it can cause respiratory problems. The EPA is actually studying more and more about the dangerous effects of fragrance. They're doing more and more tests on it. So, but let's get to some switches. Body lotion is another one, by the way, that has all these things: alcohol, parabens, phthalates, oxobenzoins. That's not something we talked about tonight, but I encourage you to look that up. But what are some of the ways you can get that out of your life? Well, this is a bath gel that I make. Look at the ingredients. Unscented Castile soap, vegetable glycerin. You know what I use vegetable glycerin for in my DIY products? It makes it soap. It makes it foamy. And we like our stuff to foam in the shower, or in our pump soaps that I can make. I make a hand pump soap that I make out of natural products too, and I like it a little foamier. That's just from the glycerin, from a product from nature. So other things I do, I make a little hand soap. I can always teach you guys how to make that. I use a very pure soap base, and I add some natural colorants and natural oils to it to make it smell good. So let's see what else here I got. Young Living has a lovely body wash, their lavender body wash. I just looked at those two again. So anyway, there's things you can do to switch that. Now, click out of this here a minute, and the next thing I want to talk about is toothpaste. So let's get to my slide on toothpaste, and let's look at some of the dangers in our toothpaste. Now, here's a big one, that triclosan. Triclosan, you guys have heard about that. I know you have. But what is it? Why do we want to avoid that? Well, triclosan is an antibacterial preservative. It's also a known endocrine disruptor, and it can cause allergic reactions. But look at some of the other stuff that's in here. The dyes, the silica. My kids used to use a whitening toothpaste, and I had to stop buying the towels that had any color to them because their toothpaste was like bleaching out the towels. So you made me kind of wonder what was in there, what exactly is in that stuff. It's in our mouths. Kids swallow toothpaste, some of them, but we swallow a little bit of it, and maybe it's not something that we really want to have with all that junk in it. Toothpaste have those SLSs in it, which would be enough to scare the pants off you. And like I said, it has the dyes and stuff like that. So something you may want to natural up, and Young Living has some lovely options. My favorite is the Aroma Bright toothpaste. I like to take a little of their Orange Vitality essential oil and add it to it as my whitener. It's awesome. They've got some other cool options too. They even have one that you can use on dogs. If you want to know, just ask me and I'll tell you which one is actually very acceptable for your dog. Okay, so let's move on here. And we talked about that. Okay, face scrubs. What are some of the dangers in face scrubs? What do we got to look out for in them? Well, here's those SLSs again. So they're everywhere, aren't they? It has some alcohols in it. Again, fragrance. That was one thing I had to avoid way back. Even when I loved fragrancing everything. I learned early on that if it was in my face scrub or in my moisturizer, my face did not like it. So a lot of our face scrubs do contain parabens, and they have petroleum and mineral-based oils. You ever heard of petroleum jelly? Of course you have. It's Vaseline. Did you ever stop to think of why it's called petroleum jelly or mineral oil? I mean, we were willingly, or at least I was. Those are gas byproducts. You're putting petroleum byproducts on your face, and mineral oil, same thing. It's not from the natural mineral of the earth. You're putting a gas byproduct, a petroleum byproduct on your skin. I'm sorry, that's pretty self-explanatory why you don't want that junk on you. All right, so salicylic acid, that is something we saw in one of our products earlier. What is that? It's widely used in acne products. I think we saw that in, let's see here. Where do we see that? I thought I saw it in a video back here. But anyway, salicylic acid is widely used in acne products, and it will cause sun sensitivity. It is a hormone disruptor. It irritates skin, and it can cause birth defects. Benzoyl peroxide, I know you've heard of some of those things in your face washes. Here we go. Here we'll see the salicylic acid and the benzoyl peroxide. It's used in a lot of skincare items as an antibacterial agent to keep it, from like the parabens. It's to keep it from going bad. But the problem with it is, and also to get some of the bacteria out of the skin. That was the reason why they were adding them in those products. But it has harsh side effects and also life-threatening side effects. It's not something we really, really want in our stuff, especially on our teenagers' faces, right? Alcohols, fragrances, parabens, again, parabens. Our teenagers, they're the ones that are constant. They want to get rid of the zits on their face, and they wash the crap out of their face. Teach them now not to do that. First of all, they're damaging the sebum on their face, but what are they scrubbing into their faces, right? Not something we really want to see. So I am going to stop here, and I'm going to talk a little more about why we get sucked into these things before I go on to the next part of our class. So thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you for the next one.